Over here we have like 6 different chambers which show the 6, let's call them, type of zombies. That in this one you have the normal walker type. It's just slow. I mean, this is just one kind of animation, but they can walk in many different you know, they have different animations for walking. They stumble around and all. This one is a runner, so you have to be careful to these guys. They, you know, they're much faster. They run at you and they can easily kill you without you not noticing that they were coming at you. This one is a crawler, also a threat, because sometimes if you kill a lot of zombies, then the floor is full of corpses. So you might not realize that there is one zombie moving in there, and it just grabs your ankle, and then like you don't even see because you don't look down. You just look around and like don't find anything, and then you have to look actually down to notice it and kill it. These ones are army zombies. There's 2 of them just to show that it can come in both runner, variation, and normal walker. And they actually usually drop something when you kill them. They can drop empty Berettas or 9mm magazines or 5.56 magazines, which is the black magazines for the M16. This one, and they can also drop bandages. And I think they might also drop pills, but I'm not too sure about that. I will show you the medical items in a moment. Over here we have the 2 different children types. One black kid and one white little girl. And yeah, they cannot infect you because they cannot bite you, but they are also threats because they're quite fast. I mean, you can see they are basically mini runners. And yeah, just watch out for them. And over here, in the last chamber, we actually have to spawn the enemy. If you want to see what enemy it is, it's just actually a normal zombie, but it's the variation of for when it goes on fire. It turns them into a runner. And I believe that these kind of zombies, if they do actually catch you, they deal more damage than they normally would if they were not on fire. So if you throw a Molotov, which is I think the only item that can set them enemies on fire. I know it's not the only item. I'll show you the other one as well in a moment. If the zombies go on fire, just make sure you stay away from them, because they can run at you, and if they do get you, they will deal a lot more damage. Right, so we're almost done. I'm just gonna show you the medical items. So if I press this thing, this will get me infected. It will not be obvious immediately, but I am already infected because I just pressed it. Once the infection shows up, I will show you what to do with it. In the meantime, let me show you. This is a medkit which deals 30%. I mean, it heals 30% of your health. These bandages, you can only use them when you're bleeding, and this heals 15%. So if I press this, it will keep on hurting me until I bleed. Okay, so I'm bleeding now, right? And my screen should flash. See that? The blood splatters on the sides. That means I'm bleeding. Once I'm bleeding, I cannot run. So even though I press the sprint key, I can't run. So if I need to take one of these bandages and use it, just press the left mouse button, let the animation perform, and that's it. I'm not bleeding anymore. In the meantime, you can see that on the edges of my screen there are some veins that are becoming more and more evident. That's because I infected myself with that thing. So when you're infected, all you can do is to take a bottle of pills. This will not cure your infection. It will only temporarily stop it, but then you will still be infected and you will still need another pack of pills. I'm gonna use it in a moment. I just want to show you guys that I'm progressively going blind. Like everything is getting darker and darker. You see, it's getting harder and harder to see. So you should probably use the pills before you go completely blind. Like for example, right now it's a good time, but not too early neither, because since you only have like another 3 extra minutes, I believe 3 to 5, something like that. When you use the pills, you want to use them like as late as possible, but not so late that you actually turn into a zombie. Okay, so we're still infected. We just delayed the infection. So until the infection comes back, I'm gonna show you the med kit. So this is what it looks like in inventory. I'm gonna go here to get myself hurt. Right. So just when you have a medkit in your inventory, just put it in your hands and just left click once, and it will perform a long animation, but at the end of it you will recover 30 HP out of 100. Don't do anything else in the meantime, like for example if you pick up another weapon. No, actually that's fine, but wait, was it fine? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it was, because it didn't cancel the animation. But if you do some other stuff while you're doing this, like for example let me see. Let me hurt myself again. Right. Because you can't use the medkit if you're not hurt. Just like you cannot use the bandages if you're not bleeding, and you cannot use the pills if you're not infected. What I want to show you was that if you do some other stuff, like try to interact with the environment, like take another gun that you cannot hold in your inventory, that will stop the animation. So just just let the animation play when you're healing yourself. You can do some things, like for example you can collect bullets, or you can collect things that go in your inventory, but if they're red, that means you can't put them in your inventory, so that will require your hands to actually carry them. So if I try to take this will stop the healing animations. Alright, let me drop all this stuff. So what we just took over here, this is a flare gun. It's a quite rare item. This can set the zombies on fire just like the Molotov, but usually it's used in survival maps. If you fire it at the sky, it will call the helicopter for a supply drop. 7 mags remaining. To be honest with you guys, I never play survival maps, so if I ever find one of these, I usually try to use it against zombies, just like a normal weapon. But I do it in a way, like for example, if I'm behind a great door, like for example in Junction, when you find you get inside the gun store, right? And there is like one of those doors that is like a grate. So like you can close that and fire safely at the zombies from the inside through the door, and that will set the zombies on fire from the other side. And even though they start running, that you don't care about that because they're locked out. Anyways, the infection doesn't seem to be coming back, interestingly, but it should. Anyways, I will keep on showing you the stuff until we are infected again. By the way, this is a jukebox that you can activate and play music, but I'm not doing it right now because I don't really want to risk the copyright infringement on the video, so I'm just not gonna activate it. Oh, the infection is coming back. You can see at the edges of the screen. Before I go to show you the last healing items, I just want to show you. These are fire extinguishers. You could use them as melee weapons, but they're not intended for that use. They are instead intended to extinguish fires, of course. Even though, interestingly, No More Room in Hell has very little use of these guys. You can hardly ever find a map where you have to put out a fire with one of these. Instead, what you find in almost every map is a welder or a fire torch or cutting torch, whatever, that you need to use on some specific metal things like doors or chains or other things or gates to weld them open. We are doing it on a door right now, but this doesn't mean that you can open all doors like this, or that only works on doors. It could be other kind of things, and it's only specific items. Anyways, you can see the infection came back because the pills delayed the infection, but not cure it. But to cure it permanently, you need one of these items, which is very rare, and this is called gene therapy. Now, if I use one of these, I will be permanently cured forever and cannot get infected again. Oh, I'm almost turning. There you go, just before turning completely. Now, these things are really valuable and precious. because you know, like if you have an infected teammate, you just give them one of these and they never have to worry about becoming infected again. But they are really rare unless you play GeneX, which is a custom map where you can find a bunch of these in the map. So that covers all the healing items, and we're almost done over here. I think I only have to show you this. This is a barricading hammer. Again, you could in theory use it as a melee weapon, but it's not really intended for that. It's classified as a tool by the game, not as a weapon. It's interesting because this tool requires, let's say, an ammo type as well, which is the bores. So if you do have both the hammer and the bores, you can right click to put up the bores, and then if you find a barricadable point, you just go close to it and left click, and it will apply a bore to it after a short animation. And well, we don't have to do all of it. Of course, these bores can be broken. I mean, the zombies can break them, you can break them. So they don't last forever, but they can be helpful for a while. And what else? I think we showed almost everything. Well, there's flashlights over here. There is walkie talkies, which nobody ever uses. But they can add an extra layer of realism if you want to play like that. Like basically with a walkie talkie, because normally, like by default, you can only voice chat with people if you are close to them, and then like if somebody's really far away from me, even if they use voice chat, I will not be able to hear them just like in real life. But if we have one of these, I'm not sure if you both have to have it or just the one is talking or the one is receiving. I'm not sure, maybe both, or maybe only one person needs it. But with these guys, you can pretty much enable voice chat at any distance from your teammates. And that's pretty much it, I believe. So I'm gonna put the download link for this map in the video description. If you're interested in this game, No More Minel, make sure to check out my this ongoing series that I have called The 8 of Us, where I play with, let's call them noobs, even though they're actually, I mean, they're good players. They're just new to it, you know. I bring new people every time to this game, you know. I mean, of course, some of them keep on playing it, so they're not beginners anymore. They are quite advanced players now, but when they started playing, they were completely new to it. And there is a constant like refresh of new people joining this group. Like every week we have maybe one new person at least or more. It's not always the same people. Even though it's the 8 of us, is actually and I'm different people every time. It's just the 8 because when we play, basically there's 8 of us, and our goal is to get all 8 to safety. Yeah, and we also play with a mod. I should have made another video about that. We also play with another mod, a plugin made for us by Mr. Halt, which is a Korean modder. That plugin basically makes all of us die as soon as one of us dies, which it's something that we prefer because we don't want to have one of us dying and the rest keep on playing. We just want to do all of us or nothing. Anyways, maybe I will make another video about that. So if you want to download this map, just download it from the link in the video description. Check the other No More Ruminal stuff on my channel if you want, or just anything else on my channel. I do a bunch of videos of a bunch of stuff. And that's all. Thanks for watching, guys.